All right, so I am in Texas, things get hot, and yes, we have the AC unit here. It's actually going right now, but I would prefer to not have to run that all the time. What the shop needs is a big, big fan. So today, we have what looks to be an airplane to install on the ceiling. Now, before I get around to telling you what I did buy, I'm gonna tell you what I didn't buy. And so I did not buy the big ass fan. So great fan, great brand name recognition, also great big price, right? So those fans can get pretty expensive pretty quick. So I started shopping around for alternatives to the big ass fan. So rewind to a few years ago, I bought a craft-made fan for the ceiling of my back porch. We'll call it a crap-made fan because that thing blew, or it didn't blow, it blew nothing. It sucked. So it was an 8-foot wide fan, got it off Amazon, I think it was like $800, so substantially cheaper than a big ass fan, right? The thing is, it blew, if you were directly below it, it would maybe blow a little bit of a breeze on you. We had the down rod right, we had the spacing right, we had everything right, and that thing just, it was terrible. So we're not going with that in here. And now it just so happened about the time I was shopping for fans, I got an email from a company that Alan and I saw at SEMA this past year. So they are Industrial Fan Company. And I knew at the time that I was gonna be needing a fan for the shop, a big fan. So when we were at SEMA, I was looking around at all the different fans, and they just randomly out of the blue, while I was looking for fans, emailed me, hey, saw you at SEMA, 10% off if you want it. So we have today an Industrial Fan Company fan to install. So Industrial Fan Company makes a few different models of fan. They have a big 72-inch floor fan that you can also mount on the ceiling, but that one's not big enough, so we didn't go with that. They make what they call the DF3, which starts at 14 feet wide, and I think we could fit that in here. The thing is though, it takes a 220 volt outlet. And if you look up there, that white outlet's in the ceiling right there. That's the outlet I put up there for the fan. It's only 110 volts, so that one was out of the question. And then they have what they call the DF3 because it has 3 blades. And you can get those anywhere from 6 feet to 12 feet, and they take 110 volts. So guess what we have today? And not only does it take the right voltage, but check out this thing. It is black and it is red. It's gonna match. So these right here are the fan blades. There are 3 of them, like I said, and I'm gonna guess they're about 5 feet long because I ordered a 10-foot fan. And so if you look at them, we'll get them out here in a second, but they're shaped like airplane wings. In this box right here, we have the motor unit right here, and then the controller, which you should see this. So this box right here plugs into the outlet on the ceiling, and then it's got a wire coming out of it that goes to the controller, which is freaking awesome. I didn't even know they looked like this, but this is like, it's an aluminum housing, and you just turn it like that, and it's super smooth, and that'll choose your speed for you. So I've actually got, we got the outlet up there. It's run off of a switch right here. So this switch turns the outlet on or off. I put a 20 amp circuit in for the fan because I didn't know what fan I was gonna get. Turns out we don't need that at all. The fan only draws 6.5 amps, so a 15 amp circuit would have been just fine, but we've got 20 amps. So I think the way this is gonna work, we'll put this box up in the ceiling so it can plug into the outlet. Then we'll run the controller wire, which I have no idea how long this is. I'm hoping it's long enough because we have 16-foot ceilings here, but we'll run the controller down somewhere around next to the switch, and then we can set the controller to whatever fan speed we want, and then we can turn the switch on or off, and then we don't have to wiggle our finger in circles all the time, even though it's a really cool controller. I'm super happy about this. And actually, if it turns out to not be long enough, look at that right there. This is Cat 5 cable. We could just go get some more cable and make it however long we needed to. And so the fan base here, it's about 13 inches wide, so it should fit in between the joists we have up there. Those are 16 inches apart. So the way this works is the fan blade edge needs to be 2 feet away from your wall, and then the motor needs to be at least 2 feet down from the ceiling, and this thing adjusts from, I think, 25 to 41 inches, or 21 to 45, I don't know which way it is, but there should be plenty of adjustability. And I put the outlet, I think, far enough away for us to be really close to it. Oh, and I also have a black outlet to replace that because that just won't stand. That gray thing over there, that's our motion sensor for the lights, and hopefully the fan doesn't mess that up too much, but I guess we'll find out. And to mount the fan, they recommend this stuff right here. This is called Unistrut. You just get it at Home Depot or Lowe's, and the holes in the fan bracket are actually made to line up with the holes in this type of strut. So we're gonna cut this up. That will go up above the rafters, and then we'll bolt the fan up to that and get everything installed. But if you know anything about this channel, then you know there's one thing we have to do first.
I want it painted black.
You wouldn't think I'd have to drink a pickle beer for failing to install a fan properly, but here we are. Oh God. Today's a special guest. This is pineapple pickle beer. It's all over my chin now. Oh, it's like, hang on. It's like you can taste the pickle beer and the pineapple separately, and they don't go together at all. It's so bad. But what I failed to do is paint the right side of the fan. So I figured I'm just gonna paint the bottom of the fan, like the nuts and the, what do you call this, bar here, because you're never gonna see the top, except for the fact that this is the top, and I just unmasked everything and did not paint the bottom. So I'm gonna have to remask everything, paint, wait for the paint to dry, and then we can finally get the blades up there. Everything else is installed right now. The controller here, it actually, the box it goes in is just like an electrical box you'd buy at the hardware store. So I figured, hey, instead of like mounting it on the wall, why not recess a box in the wall, and then it'll be all cool and sleek like that. So that's exactly what I did. And this is an old work box, so it has like kind of a ring around here, but it gives you, you know, that nice clean finish, and it's black, so I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna finish this pickle beer. They're just separate and both terrible. I'm gonna finish that, mask this, paint it, wait a little while, and then we'll see if the fan works. Now there's some circulation for you. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I hope those bolts are tight. Holy crap. You see the flags going, we're gonna have to secure those. Oh. All right, I think we're gonna keep that on low for a little while. That thing freaking moves, man. So first 2 minute of it working impressions, it's awesome. Those fan blades are like freaking works of art. They look like airplane wings. They're gonna move a ton of air. You can't feel it, but trust me, it was windy in here. You could see the flags going. I'm gonna have to actually go and secure those if I wanna crank this at all. But I'm super happy with the fan. But the only improvement I would recommend if you're gonna do this, or if Industrial Fan Company is watching,
I wanna see it painted black.
Black bolts. You go to all this trouble to make this awesome black and red fan, and then all the bolts are gold. Like, I get why they are. They're grade 8 bolts. That's the good stuff. That's the hardware that you want. But paint them black. I think it looks a ton better with black bolts and screws. The cable for the controller, I think that wound up being like 30, 32 feet. I had like an extra foot of cable left over, so that was just enough. And it's so quiet when it's not going a million miles an hour. It's nice, I like it. And again, it coordinates, it's black and red. Can't get over it. And I am gonna replace this switch here with a smart switch. I just don't have one today. So that way I can just set the fan to whatever level I want, have the switch turned off, and then say, Alexa, turn on the fan. And then the fan will turn on, much like many of your fans are turning on right now. So install difficulty, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. It would be a 2 out of 10, except it's a fan on the ceiling, and that the motor unit is actually pretty darn heavy. If I didn't have the lift, it'd be a struggle getting it up there on the ladder. You'd probably want a friend to help you. But all in all, it's a ceiling fan, it's not too bad. So that is it. I think that's the last thing I had to install in this shop. So that means we can move on to other things after the greenhouse is done, which we're like so close. We got power and electricity left. There's another camera on somewhere. One more workbench to build, but that should be like another week or two, and then we get to move on to something more fun. So stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe. Oh yeah, angry comments always. But until next time, I guess I'm just gonna grab my pineapple pickle beer here and enjoy it in a nice hurricane level breeze. See you later. Oh, I almost forgot. Alexa, turn off the fan. You're welcome.